Snoop Dogg has finally responded to Suge Knight's shocking allegations, and it's clear that he's not giving any attention to what he sees as baseless claims. Suge Knight, the infamous former CEO of Death Row Records, recently made some bold accusations, suggesting that Snoop Dogg may have played a role in the tragic and untimely death of Tupac Shakur. These claims have ignited a wave of controversy in the hip-hop world, dragging old wounds back into the public eye and forcing fans to re-examine the history between some of rap's biggest figures. For years, the murder of Tupac Shakur has remained one of hip-hop's greatest mysteries. The iconic rapper was gunned down in a drive-by shooting in Las Vegas on September 7, 1996, and despite countless theories, debates, and investigations, his case remains unsolved. Many figures have been linked to the case, but Suge Knight's latest accusations against Snoop Dogg have added an unexpected twist to the ongoing saga. Suge Knight made his allegations during a recent episode of his podcast, Collect Call, where he claimed that Snoop Dogg's actions on the night of Tupac's murder were suspicious. He specifically questioned why Snoop, who was not physically present at the crime scene, allegedly had access to a radio providing real-time updates on the events as they unfolded. According to Knight, the only way you would have a radio is if you was at the fight with us, and he had a security detail. By him not having a security detail, what are you doing with a radio? Why would you have a play-by-play on the radio? This claim immediately raised eyebrows, as it implied that Snoop Dogg may have had inside knowledge about the attack on Tupac. While Knight didn't outright say that Snoop orchestrated the shooting, his words strongly suggested that Snoop knew more than he had let on over the years. He painted a picture of Snoop being unusually informed about the events of that tragic night, hinting that he had a level of access that didn't make sense given the circumstances. Adding fuel to the fire, Suge Knight didn't stop there. He also accused Snoop Dogg of trying to bail out Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, one of the central figures in the ongoing investigation into Tupac's murder. Keefe D. has long been linked to the case, and he was recently arrested and charged in connection with Tupac's killing. According to Knight, Snoop was allegedly involved in efforts to get Keefe D. released from jail. This accusation is particularly explosive because Keefe D. has been considered one of the few people who might hold the key to solving Tupac's murder. He has openly admitted to being in the car with the shooters on the night Tupac was killed, and he has hinted at knowing who pulled the trigger. If Snoop Dogg was indeed involved in trying to get Keefe D. out of jail, it raises questions about what his motivations might have been. Was he simply looking out for someone he had past ties with? Or was he trying to prevent Keefe D. from revealing information that could connect him to the case? Snoop Dogg, however, has completely dismissed these allegations. He hasn't issued a long, detailed statement, but those close to him say that he finds Knight's claims ridiculous and unworthy of a response. For years, Snoop has made it clear that he had nothing but love and respect for Tupac, and he has spoken about how much Tupac's death affected him personally. The idea that he could have been involved in any way is, to him, beyond absurd. To fully understand why Suge Knight would make such bold accusations, it's important to look at the history between Snoop and Knight. The two men were once close allies. In the early 90s, Snoop was one of the biggest stars on Death Row Records, alongside Tupac and Dr. Dre. Suge Knight played a massive role in shaping Snoop's career, providing him with the platform that made him a household name. However, as the years went by, their relationship soured. Tensions between Snoop and Suge started to rise, especially after Tupac's death. Snoop had always been close to Tupac, but he also had concerns about the dangerous environment that Death Row Records had created. While Tupac fully embraced the aggressive and confrontational nature of Death Row, Snoop began distancing himself from it. He saw where things were headed and didn't want to get caught up in the violence that surrounded the label. The breaking point came when Snoop Dogg left Death Row Records for No Limit Records, a move that Suge Knight saw as betrayal. Suge was known for his iron grip over his artists, and when Snoop walked away, it was a direct challenge to Suge's authority. The two traded public insults over the years, with Snoop making it clear that he had no love for Suge's leadership style. At one point, Snoop even claimed that Suge had tried to have him killed. Given this history, Suge's recent accusations against Snoop shouldn't be surprising. This isn't the first time he has tried to drag Snoop's name into controversy, and it likely won't be the last. Knight is currently serving a 28-year prison sentence for voluntary manslaughter, and from behind bars, he has continued to stir up drama in the hip-hop world. With his Collect Call podcast, he has a platform to voice his thoughts, and he has been using it to push his own version of events. Another layer to this controversy involves Ray J. According to Suge Knight, Ray J provided him with information that linked Snoop Dogg to Tupac's murder. Knight claims that he has recorded conversations with Ray J discussing these details. This raises even more questions because Ray J has been known to have close ties to both Snoop and Suge at different points in his career. If Knight's claims are true, then Ray J's alleged involvement could add another twist to an already complicated story. At this point, it's difficult to separate fact from fiction. Suge Knight has made many wild claims over the years, and while some of his insights have proven to be accurate, others have been outright fabrications. The hip-hop community remains divided. Some believe that Suge's accusations should be taken seriously, while others see them as nothing more than a desperate attempt to stay relevant from behind bars. One thing is clear. The murder of Tupac Shakur is still one of the most talked about mysteries in hip-hop history. Every few years, new theories emerge, new names are thrown into the mix, and the case gets reignited in the media. But without solid evidence, it's all just speculation. Snoop Dogg has chosen to ignore Suge Knight's accusations, and given his long career of navigating controversy, it's likely he won't give this any more attention than it deserves. He has built a successful empire outside of music, transitioning into movies, business, and even esports. He has more to lose than gain by engaging in a back-and-forth with Suge Knight. But the real question remains, will we ever get a definitive answer about what really happened to Tupac Shakur? So many key figures from that night are either dead, in prison, or unwilling to talk. Theories will continue to circulate, and figures like Suge Knight will keep making claims. But unless new evidence emerges, Tupac's murder may forever remain unsolved.